I'm Jane King at the NASDAQ. Pep Boys finds a buyer and the shares soar.
I'm Patricia Wu at the New York Stock Exchange. Investors want to see more dough from a well-known donut maker. What's behind Krispy Kreme's 52-week low?
I'm Remy Blair in San Francisco. FDA approval of an opioid patch is pushing a specialty pharma name into the green. And Taser's latest partnership is pushing it higher into the cloud.
Hello and welcome to Small Cap Nation. I'm Jane King at the NASDAQ market site in Times Square. Car part supplier Bridgestone is buying out Pep Boys in an $835 million deal, or $15 per share. The deal takes the auto repair and service center off the market at a premium of more than 23%. Pep Boys stock shot up 22% on the news. Now, 2015, however, has been a good year for Pep Boys investors. The stock was already up more than 20% by the time Bridgestone submitted a bid. Pep Boys has more than 800 locations across 35 states. Bridgestone Americas, the buyer, is a subsidiary of Japan's Bridgestone, and it's probably best known for tire brands, including Firestone and Bridgestone. Well, Duke Energy, which provides electric power for 7.3 million customers in the Southeast and Midwest, agreed to acquire Piedmont Natural Gas for $4.9 billion. Piedmont shareholders will receive $60 in cash a share. That represents a 40% premium to the closing price on Friday. Duke Energy will also assume about $1.8 billion in Piedmont's existing debt. By acquiring the natural gas distributor, Duke Energy will add about 1 million customers in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Tennessee. Now, the companies are aiming to close the transaction by the end of next year. As oil and natural gas prices slump, energy companies have sought consolidation to stay afloat. And yet another deal on this merger Monday. Diebold said it agreed to sell its North American-based electronic security business to Securitas AB of Sweden for $350 million. It is subject to all the normal regulatory approvals. Well, we are still in the thick of earnings season, and small cap stocks are moving. Here's a rundown. Jax Pacific, the toy maker behind the remote control Hulk Smash, and Max Tow Truck Turbo reported higher net income in the quarter than a year ago. First Bancorp missed analyst estimates slightly. Capital Power turned things around to report a profit versus a loss a year ago. And Old National Bank's third quarter results were boosted by 5% annual loan growth. Also, Bank of Hawaii missed analyst estimates. Well, Barnes & Noble Education, big man on campus. In a Weekend article, Barron says Barnes & Noble Education offers a play on the ongoing outsourcing of college bookstores nationwide. It also amounts to an intriguing strategic asset that could appeal to the likes of Amazon or Apple because its stores reach a coveted demographic group, nearly a quarter of all U.S. college and university students, including much of the Ivy League. Barnes & Noble Education was spun off from parent Barnes & Noble in August. And finally, DSW shares hit a fresh 52-week low on Friday. The last leg down was due to slow sales, but things could be looking up. DSW has been investing in technology to facilitate omni-channel selling, allowing customers to buy goods in-store, online, or via mobile phones. The overhauled systems could lead to higher sales and profits. At the moment, however, those investments are hurting earnings, and the stock is down 30% this year. But Barron says at this price, DSW could be a good value. Time to check out small caps at the New York Stock Exchange. Patricia Wu and Alan Valdez join us from the floor. Guys, we are talking to two of my favorite topics today, food and furniture.
Hi, Jane. I'm right there with you. We're going to talk about one of my favorites, Krispy Kreme donuts. Things not so sweet for the donut maker. On Friday, its shares closed at $13.74, a 52-week low. I'm joined here by Alan Valdez. What's behind that, Alan?
You know, Krispy Kreme's is definitely one of my favorites also. But, you know, they're having a tough time. First of all, they're in the Northeast, and you have Dunkin' Donuts, the big enchilada, in the room there. I mean, Dunkin' Donuts has breakfast, has lunch. They're open basically 24/7. With Krispy Kreme's, as good as they are, those donuts and coffee, that's all they are, coffee shops and donut shops. And people nowadays, you saw with McDonald's and Dunkin' Donuts. Dunkin' Donuts had better earnings than McDonald's because they have that 24-hour breakfast that pushed McDonald's to go 24-hour breakfast. So I think Krispy Kreme's has to change their model in the stores too. But a big factor with Krispy Kreme's was the packaged goods, which they sell like at these checkout stores, these quick checks and things of that nature, haven't been doing so well. And that was a big factor in there going forward, and without that, they're going to be stuck in neutral for a while, I think.
Right, so aside from that packaged goods stumble, their overall revenue and their same-store sales, we did see some growth.
Yes, you did see some growth. But see, that's it with investors. Investors want to know if we give you $10 today, where's that going to be worth 5 years from now, 3 years from now? And right now, investors are saying, well, you know, some analysts are calling for a $9 price target on the company. Right now, the company's worth close to $1 billion. If, in fact, it goes to $9, then the company's worth about $300 million. So investors watch that very closely, not where they are today, where they're going to be in 5 years.
We're going to go from food now to fine furniture, one of Jane's favorites. Ethan Allen, they report earnings tomorrow. Some real pressure for solid results because they're in the middle of a proxy fight with that activist investor and 3 previously disappointing quarters in terms of growth.
Right. Well, you know, proxy fights are never good for companies. Investors see that and they tend to back off and say, let me see where the dust is going to settle. But they did resign their chairman for another 5 years. Good guy's been with the company for about 40 years, I think. He's been there a long time. He steered it through a lot of recessions and ups and downs. This is a critical one, though. I mean, not only are home sales flat, but the home sales that are going up are multifamily. Multifamily tend to be young kids either moving back with mom and dad or just people in transit. And they're going to places like IKEA, which, by the way, had good sales. And they're going to those type of stores. They're not buying those high-end. Ethan Allen makes great furniture. So they're not buying that great furniture now till they have their kids and buy a house down the road. So they're running into that trouble. And another problem basically is they're running out of stores too. They're closing stores, so they have to change that model also. So overall, Ethan Allen, I love the stock, but I do think it's going to be stuck in neutral. If you look at the 52-week average, it hasn't moved. It's closed basically where it's been for the last 52 weeks. So investors are saying, why get involved right now? They'd rather pay up and see it going up than just get neutral.
Wait and see. We'll get a better idea tomorrow when they report. Do you think they'll get a boost at all from the upcoming holiday season?
I don't think little Johnny wants a bed in a bureau under his Christmas tree. So no, I don't see Christmas sales really pushing furniture sales, to be honest with you. And like I said, I think it's going to be a tough year. And also, if you look at marriage licenses for the last 3 years have been flat, just like Ethan Allen's sales have been flat for the last 3 years. And that's basically people get married, they will go out and buy furniture, have kids, and if they're not getting married, they're not doing it.
It all ties together.
So they're eating those Krispy Kremes on IKEA.
All right, and no bedroom sets in the stocking stuffer.
No, they're gone.
All right, you heard it here. Jane, we want to know what you're asking Santa for. Back to you.
Well, I'm asking Santa for some new headphones, the over-the-ear kind, and also a cool hoodie, so I can be more like Mark Zuckerberg. Thanks, Patricia.
The FDA approves a patch to help chronic pain. Good news for patients and investors of One Pharma. That story straight ahead when Small Cap Nation returns.
Guys, I got the jerseys. El Nino. Aquí. Spray Dan.
Oh, yeah.
Don Ovan.
Think that's me?
You guy. It's $40. Can you cover that?
I'll send it to you right now. Done.
Okay, got it. So hat-trick Rick, he's the best player on our team. You get the ball, you give it to him.
Great. Rick.
On your phone, online, on the go. Wells Fargo makes it easy to get banking done.
All right, Don, you're on. Nope, just kidding.
Doug, you've been staring at that for a while, huh? Listen, TD Ameritrade has former floor traders to help walk you through that complex trade, so you'll be confident enough to do what you want. I'll pull up their number. Blammo. Let's get those guys on the horn. Ooh. Looks like it is time to upgrade your phone, Douglas.
For all the confidence you need, TD Ameritrade. You got this.
Let's go, Serena. Fight, fight. Come on, fight. Can't stop me now. Come on, Serena. Can't stop me now. You don't want me. You can't mess with this.
Back to the top. Here we go.
You don't want me.
4, 5, 6. Whoa, stop. Let's go back. 1, 2. Whoa, we're going to stop there. I bet we can do it even better.
It took tennis legend Serena Williams, fencing champion Tim Morehouse, and
and the world-famous Rockettes years to master their craft. But it took them only moments to master paying bills at Chase.com, depositing checks at Chase ATMs, and transferring funds on the mobile app. Technology designed for you, so you can easily master the way you bank.
The tug of war between drug companies and regulators continues. Valiant Pharmaceuticals is in the spotlight, but there's a smaller firm getting a strong boost today. BioDelivery Sciences shares up sharply on high volume. What's behind that move, Remy?
The FDA approved BioDelivery's opioid treatment for chronic pain. The approval is boosting shares of BioDelivery, with the stock soaring over 15% on Monday morning. The company's opioid film patch is called Belbuca, and it treats patients who suffer from chronic pain and need 24-hour pain treatment. Now, the drug is meant for patients who need an alternative to current offerings. Here in the U.S., the patch will be available by the end of the first quarter.
And the U.S. regulators are tough on opiate abuse. The FDA keeps a close eye on these classes of drugs. How does BioDelivery Sciences treatment work?
Well, Jane, FDA decisions can sway small-cap pharma names in one direction, and the latest approval is no different. Belbuca is a patch that is placed on the inner lining of the cheek, and it delivers the drug buprenorphine directly into the bloodstream. And compared to other opioid medications on the market right now, buprenorphine is an analgesic that has a lowered risk of abuse. Since Belbuca comes in a film patch form, it can only be used by applying it to the skin versus crushing or taking orally. And another advantage of the drug is that since it is meant to be absorbed through the cheek, there are lower possibilities of misuse, and doctors can write a 6-month prescription instead of dealing with a new prescription every month.
When it comes down to business, how does the latest FDA approval affect BioDelivery Sciences' bottom line?
That is a good question. The FDA approval of Belbuca is a significant one for BioDelivery. Back in 2012, the company and Endo Pharmaceutical signed a licensing agreement. The FDA approval triggers a $50 million milestone payment. In addition, BioDelivery will receive royalties on net sales of Belbuca here in the U.S. The company says it expects Belbuca to become commercially available in the first quarter of 2016. With that $50 million milestone payment, BioDelivery says it expects to have enough cash to carry the company through the middle of 2017. BioDelivery is scheduled to report earnings early next month on November 9th.
A popular music streaming company in Europe hopes to make some noise in the United States. Can they really take on the Spotifys and Apples of the world? Their story when we come back. You're watching Small Cap Nation.
Good. Very good. You see something moving off the shelves, and your first thought is to investigate the company. You are Type E. Yes, investment opportunities can be anywhere. Or not. But you know the difference.
E-Trade's barcode scanner. Shorten the distance between intuition and action. E-Trade. Opportunity is...
Before they sat down, one more time, just for themselves. Before the last grandchild graced the stage. Before Katie and her husband hit that rough patch. Before Kevin finally came home and the first grandchild arrived. Before the sons-in-law, daughters-in-law, and Brad's brief brush with the law. Before the second British invasion. Before Katie, Debbie, Kevin, and Brad. Before they became a family. There was a connection that started it all and made the future the wonderful thing it turned out to be. We know we're not the center of your life, but we'll do our best to help you connect to what is.
Sometimes the present looked bright, sometimes romantic. There were tears in my eyes, and tears in my eyes. And so many little things that we learned were really the biggest things. Through it all, we saved and had a retirement plan, and someone who listened and helped us along the way. Because we always knew that someday the future would be the present.
Every someday needs a plan. Talk with us about your retirement today.
Graham, how have the European markets followed up after Friday's strong close?
Well, Jane, although the markets have closed Friday and were comfortably up week on week, the German DAX 6% and the rest of the markets 2 to 3%, except for the non-euro, the UK, which was flat. There has been some profit taking this morning probably, and the markets have been falling back slightly, except for Germany and Spain, which seem to be holding up. The dovish, very dovish, let's face it, ECB last week and the China rate cut appear to have worked through the system and have been largely priced in. So we may get some more drive with the FOMC later this week, but that's about all the good news we're looking at. October business and expectation index came in lower than expected, and on the political front, the Portuguese have recently re-elected, a bit with a reduced majority, their previous government, which was pro-European and in favour of austerity. But on the other hand side, Poland has swung right and elected what is basically a Eurosceptic and anti-immigrant party in yesterday's elections. So we can expect some pushback on Brussels from Poland in the very near future. On the currency markets then, the euro seems to be holding down okay at the moment. We'll have to see if it starts to drift up again. So the ECB should be pleased, and hopefully we'll get a little more inflation into the system.
Well, Graham, what are we expecting in the small cap world in Europe this week?
Well, Jane, well, we will be testing the European IPO markets this week. We have IPOs in all markets across the week, but undoubtedly the really big story of the week is going to be the music streaming company Taser, based in France, which has a 300 million euro, hopefully, IPO starting out today with share allocations in the French market and then allocations tomorrow to international buyers. Its plans are to take on Spotify and Apple in the competition for downloading music. It is being hailed as the latest French tech unicorn.
Why a unicorn?
A mythical creature with a predilection for virgins. So, Jane, how you get from that to a high-tech startup is beyond me.
Virgins?
Yes, the mythology is that to catch a unicorn, you need to take a virgin to the woods, and the unicorn will come and lay its head in her lap. So the moral of the story is, you want to hunt a unicorn, first of all you better catch yourself a virgin. However, back to Taser. Taser announced that it wants to raise 300 million euros through the public listing on the Euronext, and it started to push out the shares today through tomorrow. Analysts cited by Reuters said the company valuation could be between 900 million and 1.1 billion. We will check the price later in the week and see where that's going. The company was launched in 2007 with an interesting business model, partnering with mobile phone companies to capture users and to bundle its subscriptions for its premium tier service to the mobile phone subscribers. In terms of promotion, it was interesting. We saw an ad for Taser and a particular artist, which of course I didn't recognize, on the screen of our local cinema at the weekend. So they're continuing to promote themselves through different medias. Whilst the model was successful in Europe, it entered the US market in 2014 by partnering with Sonos and Bose, not the same model. And this is a global business, and Taser is now present in 180 countries, but its main presence is still in Europe, with some 80% of its users and some 15% in South America, and importantly, less than 1% in the USA. It says it wants to take on Spotify and Apple, but at the moment it only has 16 million active users and some 6 million paying subscribers. Compare this to Spotify, who have 75 million active users and 20 million paying subscribers. So it has a way to go in a tough competitive market that is subject to rapidly moving tastes and trends. Camera on. So the company is facing some very interesting challenges, and we will try and follow its progress over the next few months and update you how well they're doing.
Graham, what else are we expecting?
We have a Brussels and Frankfurt IPO on Tuesday and 2 further IPOs in London on Friday, so more coverage during the week.
A new weapon for law enforcement is coming thanks to a new partnership between Taser and Microsoft. The story when Small Cap Nation returns.
Everyone works hard for a reason. Working together
Graham, what else are we expecting?
becomes 3. Wells Fargo. Together we'll go far.
You want to be the best investor you can be. You want to cut through the noise of an overwhelming amount of analysis. You want the insights that will help you decide which ideas to execute and which to leave behind. You want your trades executed in 1 second or less, guaranteed and routed with institutional quality technology. Look no further. Open an account and find more of the expertise you need to be a better investor.
When I got the phone call that we had received the grant, I held my breath.
To have a program like this is a big reward. Being a Chase Mission Main Street grant recipient is a game changer.
One of the biggest surprises in starting a small business is the number of hours we should work for the first 20 years.
One of the great things about this grant is that it is going to let us invest in some additional inventories. It's going to allow this business to go to the next level. Being a recipient of this grant, we can't be thankful enough.
It's a dream come true, and I'm still in awe.
Merger Monday is in full force, but we're also seeing partnership announcements at the beginning of this week. Now, what does the latest deal between Taser and Microsoft mean for security?
It may seem like an unlikely partnership. Most of us think electroshock devices when we hear Taser, and when we hear Microsoft, we're likely to think tech services and products. The two companies announced an agreement at the annual International Association of Chiefs of Police conference. Now, the partnership is about security and evidence management. The combo of Taser's Axon platform and Evidence.com, along with Microsoft's Azure platform and Windows 10 devices, are expected to create an evidence management system for law enforcement.
When it comes to sensitive data, security and privacy are paramount. How are Taser and Microsoft approaching the important task of evidence management, and what changes can we expect from the companies?
Well, Taser and Microsoft plan to create an integrated approach. The joint solution will capture and manage evidence, and that includes handling as well as archiving video and retrieving and analyzing evidence. And when it comes to privacy, Microsoft is the only major cloud provider that has a contractual commitment to the FBI's Criminal Justice Information Services Division security policy with its law enforcement customers. Now, today, Taser also made an announcement that it will be moving its future cloud services away from AWS or Amazon Web Services and onto Microsoft's Azure platform, and that includes Taser's Evidence.com software as a service package, as well as video storage for Taser's Axon video cameras.
Well, Taser has a market cap of $1.25 billion. Trading has been volatile for the stock, with shares dipping last week. What's the market reaction today?
Shares of Taser are up 5% on Monday. You mentioned that move last week and the stock fell over 15%. That came after its competitor in the body camera business stepped into the ring. Now, when Motorola Solutions introduced its body video camera product as well as cloud content management system, it weighed on Taser stock. Leading up to today, there were even rumors that Chicago's law enforcement could select Motorola's 3-in-1 product. But as we're seeing on Monday, that just wasn't the case. Now, the technical needs of law enforcement as well as police agencies are not likely to change anytime soon. So going forward, the demand for reliable evidence management will grow. Digital solutions need to be reliable as well as accurate and secure, so the better the solution, the better the results.
Straight ahead, what to buy, sell, or hold. We'll have the rundown from the experts on what they think on this Monday. Small Cap Nation will be right back.
Guys, I got the jerseys. El Nino. Aquí. Spray Dan.
Oh, yeah.
Don Ovan.
Think that's me?
You guy. It's $40. Can you cover that?
I'll send it to you right now. Done.
Okay, got it. So Hat-Trick Rick, he's the best player on our team. You get the ball, you give it to him.
Great. Rick.
On your phone, online, on the go. Wells Fargo makes it easy to get banking done.
All right, Don, you're on. Nope, just kidding.
Doug, you've been staring at that for a while, huh? Listen, TD Ameritrade has former floor traders to help walk you through that complex trade, so you'll be confident enough to do what you want. I'll pull up your number. Blammo. Let's get those guys on the horn. Ooh. Looks like it is time to upgrade your phone, Douglas.
For all the confidence you need, TD Ameritrade. You got this.
Let's go, Serena. Fight, fight. Come on, fight. Can't stop me now. Come on, Serena. Can't stop me now. You don't want me. Can't mess with this. Back to the top. Here we go. 2, 4, 5, 6. Whoa, stop. Let's go back. 1, 2. Whoa, we're gonna stop there. I bet we can do it even better.
It took tennis legend Serena Williams, fencing champion Tim Morehouse, and the world-famous Rockettes years to master their craft. But it took them only moments to master paying bills at Chase.com, depositing checks at Chase ATMs, and transferring funds on the mobile app. Technology designed for you, so you can easily master the way you bank.
In buy-sell hold actions today, Arctic Cap was raised to market perform at BMO Capital. Community Health was cut to neutral at Robert Baird. Commvault Systems raised to overweight at Piper Jaffray. LaSalle Hotel was cut to equal weight at Morgan Stanley. Murphy USA raised to outperform at Wells Fargo. NN Incorporated cut to hold at Stifel, and Pattern Energy was cut to sector perform at National Bank. Thanks for joining us on Small Cap Nation. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Until then, check back for the latest news and research on smallcapnation.com, Facebook, and Twitter.